Hello everybody, hi, my name is Internet Hunter. Welcome to Amazing Growth. So I'm here today with my two little ones again. We're going to have another video, so please remember that before we go any further with the fun activity that we're going to have today, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell with a thumbs up, so that way whenever we get a new video or upload, you'll be able to get our new video. So on this activity today, I am so excited because it's very interesting, right? So we're going to make Play-Doh and we're going to target skills. We're going to target service skills for kids that are very mobile, kids that have short attention span. This activity is going to help increase their attention span, is going to help them to focus. So I have all of the things here, but because some kids like to put everything in their mouth, I wanted us to do a homemade Play-Doh from scratch. Just in case you have a child that's very mouthy, meaning they put everything in their mouth, you don't have to really worry. You know that you made it yourself, it's safe, and if the child puts it in their mouth, it's okay, it's non-toxic. So today I have all of my ingredients here that I'm going to use. I'm going to use that we're going to work as a team, right? So we're going to use flour. I have like the all-purpose flour here, my love, right there. We're going to use baking soda right here, our baking soda. Yeah, Papa. And we're going to use, I actually use cornstarch. Some people don't use cornstarch, so it depends on how the ingredients you use. Some people use cream of tartar. Some people use baking powder to make their Play-Doh and their ingredients. So that's good, right? Okay. So today,
and what about water?
we use water, yes.
And what about baking soda?
And that is the reason why we have everything in front of them, because they get to remind you even when you forget. We have water, we have our food coloring. It's optional if you want to use the food coloring. I went to the kitchen and I grabbed the oil because I was missing it. So you can actually see that this is actually a regular corn oil. It could be vegetable oil, it could be corn oil, it could be olive oil. It could be coconut oil if you choose to. I have never used coconut oil, but I've seen the ingredients that some people actually use coconut oil. So what we do, these are the measurements. I'm going to give you the measurements. The measurements are great because the kids get to learn measurements. So I'm going to do, we are going to start pouring things together. So the first thing I'm going to do is to open the Play-Doh, the flour. Let's open it up. Oh my goodness, it's so hard to open.
I can open it. Mom, just do this. Just do this. Because just do under. Because it's just gonna pop out. My hand.
Oh, be careful when you open it, because you don't want to ruin the bag. See, you don't want to ruin the bag. We actually ruin the bag, even though we're trying not to.
Okay.
So we have 1 cup of flour. This is our 1 cup of flour, right? This is it right here. I'm going to give you 1 cup of flour, right? So we have 2 containers here in front of them. We want to make sure that the measurements are correct. So I have the 1 cup of flour. Princess, wait, we're gonna use that for, okay. 1 cup of flour, so 1 for you, and 1 for Princess. Now we need 1 cup of baking soda. We want to put the water first before you pour the flour in, because if you, see, this is one thing that I want you guys to remember. If you put the flour in and put the water, you can actually mess up the texture of it. So what you want to do is to make sure that you have your measuring cup and you pour the water. Only 3/4 cup of water is right here. So help me pour it. Help, please. Good job. So we have it here. Perfect measurement. So I'm going to pour 1 this bowl is actually for my buddy. So can you pour it in? Can you pour? Pour, help me. We're gonna use a hand over hand technique if your child is unable to do it themselves. Good job. Now we are going to use, I'll give you more water because we're making 2 different colors of Play-Doh. This is a great family activities and you can use it
Like my turn.
for kids. So you just want to create that environment where they're actually having fun and they're engaged.
Now pour?
So the next thing we're going to do is we're not going to put the flour. We're going to put our food coloring inside the water. That's how I do it.
Sweet.
So let's open it.
Sweet.
So let's open it. Let's see. Oh wow, look at the colors.
Beautiful.
We have, Princess, you want to go over the colors? What do we have?
Orange, purple, green.
Yeah. Very good. You're getting very excited.
I want orange and green.
You want to put the 2 colors together? Okay.
Yeah,
So you want to put it in the water. Find out. Do an experiment. Maybe you can find out what it makes. So pour it in the bowl now.
I was scared.
You can drop, to me, I just feel like you can drop as much as you want based on how thick, on how colorful you want it to be. I think that should be enough. So I don't really do measurements with this gel. I kind of like just drop a few drops to it. Some people say 5, but I just pour it in.
Now your turn.
You know. So you're mixing the purple and she's mixing pink and purple. So let's see what pink and purple is going to give us.
Okay, that's the.
Okay, so let's see what pink and purple is going to give us.
Wait, I'm not done. I'm not done yet.
And what color are you mixing? He's mixing green and orange. Let's see what green and orange is going to give us. Okay, so how many colors did you put together, mix together? You didn't tell me. You mix, oh wow, look at the water. Look at what she got. This is really interesting. Let's mix it. Wow.
Mine's is turning
Yeah,
pink.
can you mix it? Gently mix it. So we use the gel food coloring
really?
because I wasn't able to find it. Oh my goodness, I wasn't paying attention. So when you're working with your kids, you have to be very careful. Sometimes if you give it to them, they're going to pour everything in there, especially they're 2 years old. So just be mindful that if you want it to be a certain way, you kind of like be very careful with them because I'm working with both of them, so I'm a bit distracted. But I would recommend that they use one bowl to do one color to make it easier for you. You can do it any way you want. To me, as long as the kids are learning and they're having fun, that's great. So we have 3/4 cup of water. The first thing, 1 cup of cornstarch, 1 cup of baking soda, 3/4 cup of water, 4 drops of food coloring. Is really optional. You don't have to do it that way. If you want to, you can. And we're going to use tablespoon of oil. Maybe we just use like a tablespoon of oil, but I don't use a tablespoon of oil. So I usually use like
Daddy, can I have some orange, please?
I usually use like 1/2 tablespoon of oil.
Oh, the orange is over here.
If you do dumpling or you make like depending on what country you're from, but if you are from places like Africa, Jamaica, they make a lot of dough, and I know all over the world people make dough in different ways. So you can actually use the same way you make dough is the same way you can use to make Play-Doh. The texture might be a little different, but you can still use it for Play-Doh. So we don't want to put any more food coloring. I think you guys are putting too much food coloring in it right now. We want to make sure we maintain the result. It's going to be too much. Okay, so this is oil. I use 1/2 cup of oil. Now can you pour your oil in? Whoa, don't put that in yet. Just the oil. Pour your oil in first, please.
This is oil?
That's oil.
What about my oil? Whoa.
Make sure this is out of the bowl so it doesn't get messy.
Mama, I don't have oil.
I'm gonna give you oil right now. oil. Now you're gonna pour it in.
Pour it in mine.
No, pour it here. Hold it and pour it yourself.
Okay.
So we pour the oil. He's going to pour the oil in.
I gotta make sure this
So we use the half cup of oil.
Mama, can I just like dump everything in?
You can, yes, you can.
This looks a little bit like.
So because we have mixed we have the water, the oil together, the vegetable oil and the food coloring inside of the bowl. So the next thing we can do right now is to kind of like get our Play-Doh together. You can dry your cup. And then you can use these to measure if you want to. But what I'll do is just to pour it in. Make it easy and quicker. This is your cup of baking.
Hey, where did mine
corn,
go?
baking soda. We have to use a half cup of cornstarch and half cup of baking soda. So where's your cup? Right there.
Where did mine go?
Remember, my ingredients are made up ingredients. I do this when I mix my Play-Doh. I don't measure anything. So me measuring right now, it's almost like we're doing an experiment to see how it's going to come out. But I think it's gonna come out okay. So let's see how it's going to come out.
More than you.
Okay. So we have our baking soda, we have our cornstarch. I'm gonna put it to the side. This activity is so messy. I'm telling you guys, but the kids like it.
Are we gonna clean this up?
I think we have to clean it up because we're gonna open this up. Mama like everything clean.
I'm fine with dirty. Me too.
Yeah, you don't get to clean when you're finished though.
You have to?
Yeah, help me. You can't just leave your mama like that. So I'm gonna pour this baking soda. Wow, I like the way this is.
It looks
so
like
now,
snow.
It does. It says we have to do half cup of baking soda. So stop pouring in. Pour in your stuff inside.
It looks like snow.
It looks like...
Mama, look. Now. So beautiful.
Is this 1 cup?
No.
Pour it.
It
Says
feels
1
like
cup.
snow. Pour it in now?
Yeah, you can pour it in. Pour it in.
That's pour the snow in. The colorful snow. Buddy snow looks like pee.
Okay.
Mama, you even poured some in here.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay, where are your spoons? So I have my spoons here right in front of them. So
wait, mine is a purple.
Okay. So you have 1 spoon for you, 1 spoon for
Wait, what
Buddy.
about the flour?
Stir it first. Stir it so it doesn't set. Stir it, stir it, stir it. So I'm gonna stir it so
I can't.
it's getting a little sticky. I love your colors.
Mine looks.
Yours look really nice. Can I help you stir it? So if they're not able to do it, kids love to do this sometimes on their own, but sometimes it's difficult for them to do. So you can actually do a hand over hand technique, or you can ask them, can I kind of get it to a way that when it's ready for you, you can take over it? Now you need to put the flour, but you have to stir it. You have to stir it so that way you get that smoothness. You see, we have to stir it. Stir it in.
Is this smooth?
Let's see. Let's show our families that are watching us and supporting us to see how the texture is right now. Let's see. Wow. We want to see our friends and families that are supporting us. Now we want to pour the flour inside.
See if mine is
this is beautiful.
Mama, can you see mine is smooth?
Yes.
Mama, mine is smooth?
Yeah, yours is
Mommy,
smooth.
is mine smooth?
Yes, yours is smooth.
So I can pour this in now?
You can pour this in now. Ouch. This is really messy. My goodness, this is so beautiful.
Mine is ready.
Yeah, this is ready now. Wow.
It feels so soft and
See,
pretty.
some people say they cook the flour, like they kind of like use hot boiled water with the flour. I don't really use boiled water because sometimes I do this in the classroom and I don't have access to getting boiled water. And besides, boiled water and to keep it get cold can be very it's not safe for young children because they can spill it on themselves. You have to be very careful to avoid accident. So he wants it hard. If they want it harder than what you know the texture or the consistency turn out to be, just give it to them a little harder, because this is all creativity. So the purpose, the benefits of Play-Doh for kids, it looks very simple. However, the benefits for Play-Doh for kids is for tactile fun, oral motor skills, identify body parts. So sometimes, we're going to make different things with the Play-Doh. I'm going to give you a few benefits on using Play-Doh. The first one that I'm going to discuss is the visual tactile. Well, you might ask yourself, well, what is visual tactile? It's for if it's for your child or someone to be able to use their eyes to follow movements. So you want to be able to use your eyes. You want that child, when you're playing with that child will be able to use their eyes to follow movement. And why is it important? Look, yeah, and they're having fun with it. The benefits of Play-Doh is the kids learn early literacy skills by measuring. They're using the measuring tools for them to be able to read instructions on it. If your child is young, like 2 years old or under 3 and under, they might not be reading yet, but believe me or not, you're exposing them to print. So they're learning print awareness. They're learning things such as recipe, measurement, adding things together, and the different textures that they're going to get. And they're also learning one-on-one correspondence. As you know, as the activity continues, your child is going to have creativity skills where they're able to make and create the different things they want. So one of them is literacy and numeracy, which is learning numbers. See, you're showing the math, you're teaching the measurement. Yeah, you're exposing them to prints on the containers, and also you're getting them involved. They're engaging. Play-Doh helps children to develop their finger muscles and have proper finger control before they learn how to write. So when kids are using their Play-Doh, they're using their motor skills, they're using their hands to make different things with their hands. So Play-Doh is one of the best ways your child can use to mold. They use their molds. Right now, I have some molds that my children are using here. They can use the molds to make different things. Right now, I have some molds hiding some here. Look what I have. I have Play-Doh that's made already here. Some people might not, be very familiar with this, but this is very common here. I'm not sure where you're watching, but you can find this at Walmart. One of the ways that I use my Play-Doh is I like to roll the Play-Doh. Roll it. I like to squeeze it, smoosh, squeeze. You can flatten the Play-Doh with the kids, like push, push, push. You can have like ball, roll it like a ball, down, roll it, down, roll it, down. Then we say push. The kids can push, push, push. Nice. Push, push, push. Nice. Push, push, push. How many? We count 1, 2, 3. It's flat. It's like a pancake. You see how nice and very soft. This is oh my goodness. This is so soft. This is beautiful. And also, can I share with you? Can I use your shape cutter? Let's see the star. Look, I have the star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. You point the objects to your mouth and you say, look what I have. I have my star. Do you want to help me cut? Yes, yes, yes. Now we're going to put it down. We put it down and we cut. Look how easy it was to cut it, the star. Okay.
Look at my other.
Wow, look at what she made, and I'm gonna make another star. You wanna make a star with me? I'm gonna make another star.
Look, my 3 shapes. Circle, star, square.
That's the creativity, girl. You did a good job. Okay, vocabulary is the next thing that the kids are learning. They create their own work. They form and develop ideas and concepts. You see, my daughter had it and she said, circle, star, and square. So it helps them learn new words, especially for kids that are under 3 years old. So again, like we talk about their vocabulary, they learn to do so many things, learn to say so many things when they're actually happy and engaged. They are more likely to use more words to communicate their wants and needs. The next thing I'm going to talk about is creativity, which she just did. You can give them a bunch of materials and just put it in front of them and just model it and not even tell them what to do. As you're doing it, you're like, oh wow, look at what I'm making. Look, I want to make a square. I'm going to push down, push,
Push.
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 Kids are very good at imitating. They like to imitate what adults or other people do. And sometimes they like to imitate people around them. They like to imitate their friends. They like to create things in their own little mind. That's how they learn. So, for example, the science concept in dissolving the materials. You see how we dissolve when we put all the different things together? They were able to see how we can dissolve them, the ingredients. The changes in textures of the Play-Doh is based on adding ingredients, experimenting them with different varieties of ingredients. We added the water and we realized that it didn't change, even though it seems to be an error on our part because the measurement was a bit off, but we tend to realize that we can actually do something to make it more fun by adding more. And again, the kids will remind you when you put the materials in front of them, you're giving them that ability for them to be able to use their critical thinking skills and create something of their own choice or liking. Another thing too, it calms them down. It helps the kids to calm down. It helps them to engage and it helps them to focus. One of the most important things that I love Play-Doh is attention span. If you have a child that's very mobile, don't get me wrong, some kids don't like texture. If your child doesn't like texture, you can actually gradually introduce them to Play-Doh by not forcing it too much the first time and gradually getting them to like it or touching it or putting it in things that you know they're going to try to get. It calms the kids that like sensory. Some kids are not really good with sensory. So if your child, you fixed it. So if your child doesn't like sensory, you can use Play-Doh. It's one great way you can kind of like draw them to accept or to get to like sensory. It calms a very mobile child down because it keeps them quiet. It's a very quiet activity. It increases their attention span over time. The more they sit down and do what they like, the more they will engage and enjoy the activity, and they'll be able to retain information and learn. They'll be able to learn so many things that usually they wouldn't learn if you just tell them to do it. Because Play-Doh for kids that have developmental delays and disability, autism, or any kind of disability that they have, it would help to calm them down, keep them down, to sit down and have and engage in an activity for the duration of time, because they are learning perseverance. They are learning to engage more with what they like to do. They are learning to be creative. They are very curious as to the texture, where they can stretch it, they can actually squeeze it, they can roll it, they can pinch the Play-Doh, pinch it.
And you can do this.
You see, and they can even actually teach you if you allow them to welcome you in their, you allow them to, you know, to invite you in their world. You'll be surprised what kids will teach you through Play-Doh. They know a lot of technique. Let me see, what did you make? What color is your Play-Doh? Brown. I like it. The texture is so, oh my goodness. Let me tell you guys, this is really good. And it doesn't smell bad.
I want to play with that.
This doesn't smell bad. That is all. So thank you for watching. Can you say thank you for watching our video? Please don't forget to subscribe. And to hit the like button and subscribe. Goodbye. We love you and thank you for supporting us. Goodbye.